Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope we're all doing well and we're all staying safe. So in this video I wanted to talk about an issue in the console game which I've been vocal about before and many other content creators and everything have talked about before, and that is obviously mouse and keyboard on console. Now for you guys who don't know, currently as it stands, as of year 5 season 3 in Rainbow Six Siege, mouse and keyboard is not allowed on console. The console game of Rainbow Six Siege is only meant to be played with first party Sony controllers or third party controllers such as Scuff and stuff like that. They're the only things that are allowed to be played in Rainbow Six Siege on console. There is no native input from mouse and keyboard, as Ubisoft have blocked that, as they do not want mouse and keyboard to be played on the console game. Now that hasn't stopped people from bypassing it. There are many adapters that you can buy, and you just plug it in and then you hook up your mouse and keyboard and you hook up your controller to this adapter, and it tricks the input of it being a controller whereas you're actually using a mouse and keyboard. So that is how they are bypassing this block, meaning that basically what the console sees when you're plugging this in is a controller, but what you're actually using is a mouse and keyboard. Therefore they're able to pass this block and play Rainbow Six Siege on console with a mouse and keyboard. Now this has been something people have been very vocal about before, mainly because it's technically cheating, because a controller is much harder to use than a mouse and keyboard. Your aim is going to be much more precise with a mouse than it is with a joystick. And for this reason, that is why it is classed by Ubisoft as being cheating on the console game. Now, one thing they do say is that it is cheating, but they don't punish people for it, because I imagine it would be very easy to disprove that you're actually not using a mouse and keyboard adapter. Therefore, you could kind of argue your point of not getting banned. But it is a big problem, and considering that we are going into the next generation of Siege, on the next gen consoles, I felt like I should probably bring it up and just share my thoughts on it and how maybe they can fix it, and hopefully what is going to happen in the future. Now, someone who's actually been quite great on this topic is Get Flanked. Obviously he plays on PC, but he did start off on console and he is aware of the issue of mouse and keyboard on console. And something that he does say is that it is out of Ubisoft's control. And yeah, I agree with him, it is out of Ubisoft's control. Ubisoft have played their part in blocking the input, and it's not really their fault. But I do, like I said, I still think, not even just with mouse and keyboard, I think with a lot of things in general, I think Ubisoft in Rainbow Six Siege especially is way too soft on people cheating and being toxic to give them a ban. I think the banning system in this game is extremely flawed, and it needs to be used and put into effect so much more than it is. The terms of service really need to actually be employed in this game a lot more than they currently are, and they really need to clean up a lot of stuff in the game. But blocking the input is kind of out of their control, although they actually have said that they are looking into a long-term solution for fixing mouse and keyboard. And I'm going to share my thoughts on hopefully how this is going to end up and how this solution is going to be resolved. So like I said, we are going into the next generation of console with PS5 and Xbox, and you may be thinking to yourself, like, you don't really care, you play on PC and you think console is this rubbish. Well, for not too long ago, and maybe still now, I think PS4 alone actually made up half of the Siege community itself. So if you want, Siege to last on your PC game, you need it to last on the console game, because the console game of Siege is propping the PC game up quite a bit as well. If you didn't have this massive console community, you wouldn't have your Pro League, you wouldn't have your big console creators like that, you wouldn't have the support that Pro League's getting and everything, you wouldn't get all this income into the game and stuff like that. So it is an issue that needs to be solved, because it is driving people away from the game. Now, in my ideal world, and I'm hoping how this is going to end up, is that Ubisoft and Microsoft and Sony all, find a solution to block the input of a mouse and keyboard. Personally, I feel like if you do use mouse and keyboard right now, you are breaking terms of service and you are willingly cheating, and I do think you should be banned for that. But I would be willing to give them a pass if Ubisoft and Sony and Microsoft made it that PlayStation and Xbox servers on Rainbow Six Siege console and PC are all cross-platform, only for controller and only for PC. For mouse and keyboard. So what I mean by that is, regardless if you're on PlayStation, regardless if you're on PC, and regardless if you are on console, if you are using a controller, you should only be placed in lobbies with other people using a controller, regardless of what system they're on, only what input device they are. They should add native M&K support for console, only for it to work though if you're in a same server as someone on Xbox is using a mouse and keyboard and someone on PC who's using a mouse and keyboard. I feel like that would be quite a long-term solution, because I know a lot of people who use these mouse and keyboard adapters would probably switch and use the native support and then be on the same servers where you can lean and everything with PC and stuff like that. I think that'd be a good change. Like I said, I've always said that mouse and keyboard players are cheating, and I don't have respect for them for doing that. But I would be willing to give them a one-time pass if they full switched to the native support and played on that. Then if any player is caught using an adapter, and if Sony and Microsoft can find a way to identify those adapters, then they should be banned after that, because at that stage they've been given the option to use native mouse and keyboard support to play against other mouse and keyboard players, and if it's still at that stage, if they're going to use an adapter to play against controller players, then they should just be permanently banned for, you know, breaking the rules. Because I personally see it as the people who use mouse and keyboard right now, they're on very thin ice of getting banned anytime soon, because Ubisoft know how much a problem this is. It's definitely on one of their top priorities. Don't think that they don't care, because this is definitely on their top priorities, especially going into next gen. And when you have a massive part of the console community, which, like I said, make up the majority of the Siege community itself, you've got big content creators like Get Flanked and everything complaining about this. Change is definitely going to be made soon. I really can't see this game going into the next gen of console and surviving if it's still got this massive problem with people cheating like this. And like I said, in my perfect world, I would let mouse and keyboard people use whatever input device they wanted, as long as they were going against other mouse and keyboard players. I want Ubisoft to enforce their terms of services more, but I would be willing to give a pass on these players if they did use the native support, if they ever added it, and stopped playing in controller lobbies. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they are very skating on thin ice right here as well with their accounts anyway, and I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in the near future, especially around times of the next gen of console, I wouldn't be surprised if solutions get found and their accounts get permanently banned. I'm really not surprised if that does happen. I think the likelihood, if I'm very much going to be honest, is that is going to happen at some point down the road. When, I couldn't give you a date for that, but I can see it happening at one point. I'm really not going to be surprised one day, and maybe around the time of the new consoles, when something like that is going to happen. But if for whatever reason that doesn't happen and this issue still persists all the way into the new generation of console and the coming years of Rainbow Six Siege, then I feel like that's going to be very disappointing, and 100% you're going to lose a lot of support from the community, and you're going to lose a lot of players. And like I said, it isn't primarily Ubisoft's problem, though they do still have a part to play, which they aren't playing in my opinion, and they still can do more. But yeah, just to really wrap it up, if you do use mouse and keyboard on console, you are cheating, and I do hope one day that you are able to play the game with the desired input device that you want, but now is not the time. The infrastructure is not there, and I currently don't think you should be doing it, and I think you should have respect for your other players for doing so. Wait until there is infrastructure, wait until you can do it properly, don't be a cheater and don't contribute to the issue that the game has. This game has a lot of issues, don't be one of them. But yeah, I'm just going to end this video here. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this whole topic, and, you know, what you think they should do and how it should get fixed and everything. They did say that they are looking into and working on long-term fixes for it, but obviously they can't share any information on that right now. I just really hope that stuff like that is coming for the new generation of consoles, and hopefully we get some fix anytime soon. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Drop a like if you did enjoy it, dislike this video if you did not. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you are new. We are almost at 11,000 subscribers, so thank you very much, and I shall see you all in the next video. Thank you all for watching.